Guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a 6-braid challah, which is an egg bread. If you are here and you've looked up this video, you probably already know that, and I'm kind of assuming here that you basically already know how to make challah. I'm here with my dough that I've already made. If you don't know how to make challah and you'd like me to post that video of making this, I'll be glad to do that. Just let me know in the comments below. I didn't want to go ahead and waste anyone's time. If you're looking for a 6-braid, I'm kind of assuming you've already made it a time or two and are just looking for a little extra help with braiding it. So that is what I'm doing. I've cut the dough in 2 equal groups here, and I am going to cut those each 2 times to make 2 equal groups, roughly equal groups. Unfortunately, my food scale wasn't working, so I have to eyeball these, and I'm making 2 groups of 3, so there will be 6 strands in total. And like I said, I'm trying to make them roughly equal, so I made 2 logs here, and I'm cutting each of these logs twice. Here I am kind of eyeball measuring and marking it with my finger and cutting it up. And you'll see me taking each of those pieces and rolling it out into a strand, a snake. I made pretty fat ropes just because I had a lot of dough, but you could definitely make them thinner, shorter, however you like. I think pretty much everyone knows how to make snakes with the dough. If you've ever played with Play-Doh and made those logs that you make in kindergarten, it's the same concept. You just roll from the inside out, as you'll see in the video. And I will go ahead and pick this up once I have formed all of the strands. into 2 groups of 3 so that they're in 2 equal groups, and this makes it easier to follow the pattern. Kind of mushing them together so that they'll bake together. The pattern is first to crisscross the 2 outside strands, opposite outside strands, and then you will begin the pattern from there with the top strand. So the one that you moved first is the one that you will be moving third, if that makes sense. So the outside strand will go on the inside of the opposite group, and then the outside of that group will move to replace that strand. Basically, you will make a strand of 3, and then you will make it then a strand of 2 again. So if you see here, the outside strand, the topmost strand, I'm moving to the inside of the opposite group, and I'm then taking the outside strand of that group and moving it to replace the strand that was there before. And that leaves the other strand as the topmost strand, which I will then put on the opposite group to it on the inside, and take the outmost strand of that group, which was then 3, and moving it to replace that strand to make 2. So you take the topmost strand, which is now the strand on the right, my right, move it to the inside of the opposite group, which is now 3. Take that outside strand, move it to replace that strand, and then we move to the opposite side and do the same thing with the opposite group. It may seem confusing, but it's basically the same 3 moves over and over again. It's actually quite easy to remember once you start. It sounds confusing, but it's not. So I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Now you'll see the topmost strand is now on the left. I'm moving it to the inside of the right group, and then I'm taking the topmost of the right group and replacing the strand on the very left. And then I'm moving the topmost right strand, moving it to the left inside, and taking the outside left and moving it to the right, and so on and so forth all over again. And now you'll see that you get to a point toward the end of the braid where you start to have these hinky little stubs that are very difficult to braid. I know some people like to just chop those off. I was trying to be stubborn and just braid it till the bitter end, but in the end I decided that those people were right, and I just braided as much as I could, and then I cut it off with my dough knife, as you'll see here, and then I just mushed them together and tucked in the end. So now I'm just patting it down to try and shape everything into a nice loaf, and that is the unbaked challah end result. And that is the end result after it's been baked, which I think it turned out great. I did use an egg wash. I used a double egg wash to get that deep brown color, and I think it turned out amazing. Thanks for watching.